Hi everyone and welcome, and thank you for joining me. Today is Wednesday, July the 5th, and I appreciate you joining me today. My name is Marcie Besecker and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And today we are going to have a fun craft evening. I gave you guys a list of items I'd like to see you create with and tonight, and kind of what I'm going to be using. I'm going to switch my chat to live chat. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. I've not done mystery stamping or anything like that. I haven't even looked into what all that entails. I just thought I'd try something a little bit different and for me, and you guys craft along with me. So let me get caught up here. Hello, hi Tina, hi Annie, Carrie, Carol, Marcia, hello. So I have some really fun announcements too. We have a lot of new things coming up for tomorrow. And so I want to share those with you also. And I'll wait just a bit for some more people to come on. Hi, France. Hi, Robin. One of the winners from the cards last week that did not respond yet is Allie Scroggins. So Allie, I'm going to go to the old video that you commented on and reply to you tonight. So hopefully if you see this, you won one of the cards. So make sure you contact me. Also, Wendy, I know you and I talked and you are going to be on tonight. Email me your address, please. I don't think you sent it to me, so I just need to get that from you. Let's see. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Paula. Hi, Trina. Hi, Carrie, Marion, Hilda, and Margie, who just rushed home, who's rushing home now. Margie, I have some updates and some important things, so listen, don't watch, you're driving, and then when you get home, we'll probably just be starting the card. So let's start with some big announcements. We are going to have bonus days July 6th through the 31st, so starting tomorrow. And I know this print might be small, so let me just share it with you, and I'm going to repost it again on my Facebook page. But it says shop and earn a $5 coupon for every $5 you spend between July the 6th through the 31st. There is no limit on how many coupons you can earn. Make sure to use a valid email address when completing your purchase. Okay, so what's going to happen is tomorrow's a big shopping day, and I'll explain what's available and what's going on. But when you shop between tomorrow and the end of the month, for every $50, you're going to get a coupon for $5. You need to have a good email address because they're going to email your coupon code. Okay, so then in August, when the new catalog is available it's not available for customers, for demonstrators though, you can use that for that. And then let me see. When it expires, so you have to spend it through the end of August. Okay, so they did this last year, and it was really kind of fun because for every little bit that you spend in July, you're going to get a coupon for $5 back. So in August, you could go shopping and get those things that you need. Maybe you don't have the holiday catalog yet, but you know you're probably going to need some red paper, green paper, adhesive, stuff like that, ribbon, whatever, for some Christmas cards. So stock up on that. Hi, Jeanette and Jennifer. Hello, Melanie. Hello, Sherry from Southeast Indiana. Hi, Brana. Hi, Melanie again. Thank you for liking and sharing. I appreciate that. And hi, Janet. So that's going to be one of the fun items in July, starting tomorrow. The other thing is the online exclusives, and I showed you how to get to that on the last video. So if you want to go look at how exactly do you get there, and I'm just going to tell you, when you go to the shopping site, you're going to go to shop, and this is on the Stampin' Up page. So if you go to my blog first, normally there's a shop my online store, and then my host code is right before that, right below it. Grab that, click on that big circle. It takes you right to my Stampin' Up store. Okay, so then there you're going to hit shop, and then you'll have a list of things. Click on view all, and you'll just see a lot of items there. Two things you want to double check tomorrow is online exclusives, because there's going to be some new items. The sleigh ride, sleigh, I know I shared them with you already. Where is it? The horse and sleigh. Okay, so this suite, so you get those and you get this beautiful paper. This will all be available tomorrow. The Timeless Charm set is available also tomorrow, so a fun set with some flowers. Then there's also going to be some other items that are going to be available. One of them is going to be the Trucking Along, which is the one I'm going to be having a class on. And so that will be available tomorrow also. And then there's some other items that we don't have flyer information or anything on. So make sure you check. There's probably 1, 2 more stamp sets or bundles. And then there's some accessories and 3 stamp sets, I think. Something like that. The Truck Punch and Stamp Set is a bundle. Yes, Melanie. Hi, Barb. So that is all going to be available at midnight. I believe it's midnight tonight in Utah time. So for me, it's 11 o'clock. So that is Mountain Time. Mountain Time. Let's see. Hi, Midge. Hi, Carol. Oh, a hot 98 there, huh? I don't know what ours was. Oh, Melanie, I know how they did it. That was a demonstrator, and she was actually asked to come up with items. Sometimes what they do is they reach out to people to create items to show. So they get to, and so on a leaders group thing, they were able to show, or Creativity Now for demonstrators, they were able to show some samples, and then that's how she got it. So she was able to do that. It was 99 here today too, Carol. How do I order past Paper Pumpkin sets? Brana, I'm glad you asked about Paper Pumpkin. So also tomorrow, there's going to be a sale on past, I believe it's past Paper Pumpkin refills, add-ons. So go type in Paper Pumpkin when you go on. And it should all show up there. When you go into the shop and then you hit view all and it lists everything, look for the Paper Pumpkin. I believe there's one there. If not, search Paper Pumpkin and they should pop up, and they'll be on sale tomorrow. So most of them, I believe. 86, nice. Oh, you're welcome, Melanie. Okay, so that is 2 things. Also, another thing, clearance refresh. So again, in that shop, I believe there's a clearance. That's kind of a new thing. So that's why I'm like, I think it's there. Clearance. If it's not there, do the search and type it in. But clearance is having a refresh. And so there are going to be some new items added there. So don't forget to look there. Should I say, I understand I don't have Trucking Along yet? Oh, I know, Melanie. I'm waiting for it. Ooh, peach preserves, Midge. That sounds wonderful. I just got done. She just got done making 21 pints. Do you have a peach tree? How neat. Okay, so let's see. Bonus days, check. Online exclusives, don't forget. Now, remember when I mentioned before about the Truck Along, they're talking about that's going to go fast. So, especially if you want to go into my class that I'm having, there's a link below. Obviously, it doesn't have the details yet for the price and all that stuff. If you purchase the suite from me, the class will be free, but you still have to register. So make sure you click on that link. And in the notes section, just put, I'm going to purchase the bundle from you. When I get it, when I get your order, I'll mark you paid. Okay. Good evening, Patricia. Ooh, mid-60s. Nice, Annie. Olivia, I was just crazy craft or die cutting and stamping to finish my prep just now. Well, do you work all day, Olivia? I know you do. So good, yay. So how many people are going to be crafting along with us tonight? I'm super excited about that. No tree, I purchased them from the peach truck. Well, that sounds good. anything that has the peach in it has got to be good, right? Peach name. Hi, Wendy. Hello, how are you? Let's see. Okay, so another thing. So clearance, check. Oops, check. Okay, the Cheerful Daisies, I posted on my Facebook page that it is available now. And good news, the Hey Chuck set, so if you're going to be doing that class with me, that is available. I know a lot of you have registered already and put that you're going to purchase, so I just want to let you know that is available now, so add it to your order tomorrow. Wait until tomorrow so you can get your truck and all that good stuff too. Yay, Robin. Yay, Janet. Great. Hi, Rebecca. I know Olivia. She's been getting ready. Hi, Carol. So that's another thing is, yay, the Hey Chuck is ready. So don't forget to add that to your list. There's a new kit coming out also tomorrow. So make sure you kind of scout everything out. Look at the front page because a lot of times they'll put the information in the front. So probably the new kit, clearance refresh, the new online exclusives. You can just click on those items too and they'll probably take you right where you need to go. So don't forget that. Today for bingo is the 12th, I think. I don't know. Let's look. Bingo is the 12th at 5 o'clock. So today it says RSVP by the 5th for a free gift. Remember, I talked about the gifts I add in my classes and add in bingo. I don't want to stop the gifts. I'm trying to be a little smarter about stuff. And prepping is so much easier for me for classes and bingo if you're already registered by the deadline date, by the RSVP date. I always tend to make extra so that I have them for those that can't register right away. But if you are planning on registering, fill out the registration form at least, and then on the note section just say I'm going to pay next Friday or whatever your payday is, or before bingo. It just has to be paid before bingo. That helps me out a lot in being able to prep for the class. Right now it is a pretty full bingo, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget, if you bring somebody, you recommend somebody, when they fill out the registration form and put your name down as being referred by you and it's their first time, you will both go into a drawing for a bundle. So don't forget that. I'll try to craft along, might watch and wait till I'm in my craft room. Oh, Melanie, that's fine. Hi, Gloria. Hi, Renee. Let's see, Tashana, hello, how are you? It's raining there. It's funny. I see a lot of people with not tents, but outdoor screens around their pools. I was just talking to my nephew. He's from Florida, and he was in town, and we went to lunch, and he was talking about a screened-in pool, and my husband was like, why would you screen in your pool? And I'm like, have you been there? Because you guys have big bugs and mosquitoes and stuff, and so my husband's like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, we don't have screens here. When we went to Montana to visit my daughter, we stayed at a hotel. It was hot last year at this time when our grandson was born. He's almost a year. And we said, oh, do you have a pool? And they're like, oh, yeah, we do. It's indoors. I don't like indoor pools. But anyway, I just had to tell you about that because it was kind of funny. Let's see. Hi, Brenda. All right, so it looks like we are just about ready. So if you are, I think I've got everything on there, bingo. Quickly, the truck along, like I said, I don't have any other flyers than this right now. I put a circle around the punch and the truck so you could see that. You'll probably see some online because other countries, there are different times and they might be posting. So you'll see it. Tomorrow I will update the class and give you more information on it and pictures and whatever I can get a hold of. So that is coming up. And I did post that I am going to have a class on that. So you can see that. The Hey Chuck class, those are available now, and that is going to be the 27th. Remember that the 27th is just a date that I can get everything to you. Your video, your PDF, your kits, and then you just create these at your leisure. Okay, if you go into the registration, you're going to see the additional products of blends that I am using. That does not mean you have to use the same colors. So just remember, you can do your own thing. I happen to have all the blends, so I can, you know, use multiple of colors, but you use what you have. I made it and heard announcements. Excited for online exclusives tomorrow. Oh, Margie, me too. I am excited. I'm in California, so I'll be up tonight. But I am going to overnight it. So as soon as I get it, I will share it with you guys. Let's see what else I'm looking at. I still have a few daisy kits left. They've been going pretty quickly, but I still have a few left. So if you're interested in that. So the daisies, here's a sneak peek. Not really a sneak peek because class is over, so I'm showing you the whole cards. And then here is a sneak peek for the Hey Chuck. So if you want to do that, make sure you sign up. There is a link below. Margie, I will email, let me write that down. Email your bingo numbers. Margie, bingo. I will email those to you because tonight's not bingo. It's the 12th. Hi, Virginia. How are you? The pool's here in Florida as we have all the little lizards. Oh, yeah, lizards. That would make sense because they would just crawl right in there, right? Okay, so if you want to craft along, if you missed it, it's on my Facebook page. But you want to, and I said 6 flowers. I was wrong. There's 5 flowers, so toss 1. Large flowers, 3 small flowers. I am using Love for You. If you don't have this set, these are the flowers I'm using that are across the bottom here. Find something, whatever you want. Same color, different colors, whatever you choose to do. I'm going to also be using Sentimental Park for my sentiment. So choose a sentiment, whatever. I just thought it would be kind of fun to just craft along, and I'm not going to show you the card till we're done. I am using the dies, of course, for the flowers only, not the leaves, but you do need the stamps for these leaves, okay? So find leaves that match your flowers, whatever flowers you choose. I will be using the flower dies here. The other thing I mentioned to you is an embossing folder, and I did list my supplies below. I'm going to use the Exposed Brick 3D. I love this folder. And so I'm going to be using that. And for my embellishments, I'm going to use the iridescent rhinestones. Okay, so I hope that helps you. Let's see. Hi, Nancy. You're welcome, Margie. Okay, so let's get started. We are going to start out with a white card base. Let me move that over. So this is thick white. I have a white card base. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to stamp on the inside, so we're going to hold off on that. We are going to emboss your first piece. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to use this, and I'm going to emboss it. So emboss, if you're following along, 4 by 5 1/4 piece of paper. I'm doing mine landscape. You don't have to, so whatever you choose to do, make sure you check your orientation on your folder. So let me just put this in quickly. I really wanted to do this as you guys do, because I know if you haven't had time to prep anything, you're going to be doing it right along. So that's why I'm going to do this now. There we go. And there is our fun background. I wanted this to be kind of a light and airy card, so we're going to set that aside. So that's why I chose white, 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 white. Everything's white. On this one, we're going to go ahead and stamp our flowers. So you'll get to see the colors I chose. Now, once I did this card, I realized I could have done it the same color or this, 2 colors, but you do you and choose what you want to do. So the first color I'm going to use is going to be Coastal Cabana. I like to do I'm going to do the large flowers. Let me grab my baby wipes here. And I'm going to do the large flower, and I do the center, the darker first. Okay, so, oops, we are going to take this scrap piece of paper that I've been coloring on. Okay, can you guess what I was working on? No. Just kidding. Okay. Let's get organized here. All right, here we go. So we're going to take the center, because mine happens to be a 2 stamp. If your guys' is 2 stamp, I would do this. Did you see that? My stamp fell right off, and then my block went right in the ink. All right, so I'm going to stamp and get this one right on here. Okay, we want that to be dark. And I'm changing inks, so I'm going to have to wipe my flowers off. Oh, look, you can tell I was using them. They're all, I need to wipe. If you get the back of them and they're not sticking, you got to wipe it off, because sometimes you get embossing powder or whatever, and then they don't stick. So I'm going to, oh, that one seems fine now. All right, and then I'm going to do the same color, and I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to come over and see how you can see the top point here. The top point, and I'm going to go right onto there. And you can see where the bottom flower, that long part, and then that little V up there goes. Okay, so there's my first flower. All right, now I'm going to move on to a new color. My next color is Daffodil Delight. In my pile here. Same thing. I'm going to ink it up really good. All right. Same. Stamp off. And my head might get in the way because the lighter colors are a little harder to see. All right, so now we have 2. And we need 5, so I'm going to do a couple more colors. The next one is Melon Mambo. So you can tell I chose not to do just 1 or 2 colors, but once I'm done with it, you can tell, you'll look at it and realize, oh, okay, I'm going to use, you know, these 2 colors or those 2 colors or whatever. You can choose what you want to do, but I really wanted this to be colorful. And I saw some of these colors on, this is kind of how I started this, is on Pinterest. I went and just looked up color combinations. And it wasn't even stamping up colors. It was just color combinations. And it was so pretty, and it was close to these colors. And I'll tell you the difference when I get there. But see how pretty they are? You do the solid one on the inside, and then do the stamped off one on the outside. So that is 3. The next color I'm using is Highland Heather. Hopefully I'm not going too fast for you. We're going to do Highland Heather. So if you're not on my Facebook page, Marcie Besecker Designs, you might want to go hop over there after the video and just like the page so that you can get notified of posts, because that's where I post a lot of updates and announcements. And I did post on there the products that we're going to be using today, and I had mentioned that you could go on and create your flowers if you wanted. Of course, I mistakenly said 6, but we only need 5. Now the hard part is deciding which color you don't want. All right, so that was Highland Heather. The next one is Bubble Bath. All right, so same thing. Now this one, you do the same. Even though it's a light color, you're going to stamp it solid. All right. And then you're going to stamp your lighter one. You are stamping off still. But this one's a little harder to see because it is very, very light. But if you look closely, you can see the shadows. And then you'll know to line them up. Okay, so those are the colors that I used for those. Now the small flower. We're going to take the small flower. We're going to use Flirty Flamingo. All right, and we're going to do 3 of these. So we're going to do, let's see, this way. So see the little V on this one goes on the bottom. All right, and then this one is going to go that way. All right, so we're going to do 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's your inside. It's this way. You want the big one at the top with the V again here, at the bottom. What set is Marcie using? Oh, I'm using Love for You, this one. All right, so you're going to stamp off these again, same as the other one. And look at the bottom and then look at the top. Just make sure your petals are within the light shade. You want them to be within so they're, you know, not poking out kind of weird looking. All right, so there are your 3. Now, what I did, because I did the sentiment, we'll do that right now too. So again, the colors I used, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Melon Mambo, Highland Heather, Bubble Bath, and Flirty Flamingo. Okay, those are the colors that I used. I'm going to pull out Pebble Path. And what I did is I wanted to tie this in because this is what the sentiment is going to be out of. I'm going to just take my little center piece right here. And I'm going to just put it right in the middle of all my flowers. This one kind of came out weird. There we go. And I did the same for the little ones. All right, so there is what I did with the flowers. And now I'm going to take this Thanks from Sentimental Park right here. I wish it had this same font and I wish it said thank you instead of thanks. And I could take that off and add the U, but I really just wanted this pretty font because it goes with this card. And I think the card is really elegant looking and really nice. And I think thanks is a little casual for it, but I did it because I really like the font. I thought it went well with the set. And so there you have it. All right, so we're going to just, this is from Cheerful Daisies. This, I just happened to have it on my desk. So that's what I used. And so I had to go hunting to see what it came from because I couldn't remember. All right, and then we're just going to do that in Pebble Path. And so that is going to kind of tie in with our flowers with the Pebble Path. And I wanted it to be a softer color than black. Yes, it is, Laura. All right, so there we go. So there's that. There's this. So I know you guys need to die cut your flowers, so go ahead. I'm going to wipe these up just really quickly. And then I have a trick on something that I like to do that's helpful. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to also take, while you're die cutting, because you can do the inside of your card later, as soon as I find my paper, what I did with it. What did I do with it? I just had, oh, I think I might have used it instead of grabbing, I don't know what happened to it. My inside paper. Hello. That's okay. All right. I even brought an extra just in case I messed up. Okay, so this is going to be the inside. So we're going to go back, and what I'm going to do is now I'm going to do the Flirty Flamingo. All right, so we're going to do the inside. And you can just do this at a different time. If you're die cutting, don't worry about it. This is just, we're going to add this. We're going to add our outside. Oh, yay! Thank you for Gloria for letting me know. And I would love a thumbs up, you guys, if you don't mind. I would really appreciate that. All right, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to bring in our greens. Oh, you guys, I just totally messed up. All right, you do not want to emboss your white paper, so cut another 4 by 5 1/4, because I totally messed up, and I knew I was going to do that. I should have wrote myself a note. So what we're going to do, so while you're doing that, I'm going to do my leaves. So we need to, we're going to stamp on this first. We're going to stamp on the 4 by 5 1/4 first. So ditch that, get another 4 by 5 1/4, because I goofed up, sorry. We need this still. And I'm going to use this on my leaves here really quick again. All right, so let's do our leaves, the darker first. And I'm just going to go close to the flowers. It doesn't have to be exact. All right, and this I'm using Granny Apple Green. All right, and then just make sure you get that on there. And then get the larger one and do the same thing. You're going to stamp off. Okay. And stamp off over here. All right, and then don't forget, we've got to do our little guy here, and Pebble Path. Oh, Mary, sorry about your arm. Well, this video will be around, and you can do it another time. So notice that this flower, I did this one kind of upside down to what I did these. Okay, well, you could do them like this, but I wanted to make sure that this big petal is in this corner. So this flower is really, you can kind of do it any way you want to. So I chose to do it with the big petal going towards the corner, just to kind of fill it up a little bit. So it's just really whatever you choose to do. All right, so there we go. Now, while you're still die cutting, I'm going to show you another step. I took my Wink Stella and I colored just the inside right on the petal path. So just add a little there. I'm going to do it now. Let them dry while you're die cutting. All right, so there's that. The other thing I did is I took my thanks and I just lightly went over it just to add a little sparkle. Don't forget your tea over here. You don't want a whole lot, just lightly. Okay, so there we go. See if you can see it. It's really, really pretty. It just adds just that little bit of sparkle on there. Okay, so we can set that aside now. All right, so now this is what I want you to do with your new 4 by 5 1/4, silly me. All right, what you're gonna do is you're gonna come close to the bottom with leaves. So let's, you're gonna bring in your flowers first. Okay, so now let's just say that you have your flowers die cut, which I did because I knew I was gonna be doing some other stuff while you do that. And then what I did is, let me move this. Okay, what I did, if this is too close, let me know, you guys. I kind of did it for coloring purposes only. You really don't need it that close right now. So kind of put your flowers where you want them. So you're going to do this, and I'm going to put this one here, and I'm going to take this one and put it this way. I kind of did the long one to the left now on these. Okay, so you're just going to kind of lay that, and you can kind of layer them up or spread them out, whatever you want. We're going to take the Melon Mambo one and put it kind of up front center. So just kind of get your idea, lay it out how you want it. This is going to be the tricky part of what I did. I made a few of these. Some of you probably got them because they were my customer thank you cards. So thank you to my customers very, very much. But you probably, in fact, I got a message today, someone thanked me, but she is locally. So the ones that are farther may not have them yet. But just so you know that if you purchased from me, you're probably getting this card. All right, so we're going to move that in a little bit. We're going to take this one, put it under, maybe kind of under, kind of on top, whatever, you know, figure it out however you want it. And then we're going to do this one. Look right here. Okay, so just kind of, you know, figure them out how you want them. I like the centers to show because that just makes it look like, you know, you're really seeing all of the flowers. So I'm going to go with something close to this. All right, I'm going to move this one out just a tad. Because remember, this is your embossed piece, okay? So you're going to have, you know, your card will be a little bit bigger, so, but you don't want, not too much. You don't want it to be sticking out too much. I think I'm going to do this one under like that. And this one, I'm going to slant this one a little bit. Kind of kick its leg out a little bit, okay? So what I did is kind of just get it where you want it. Now I have removable Scotch tape. If you have this, that's great. If you have saran, what is that, press and really, or press, what is that called? Saran press? Press, okay, the name just escaped me. Press something. You know, the saran wrap that's the press and seal. Press and seal. If you have that, it works great too. All right, I'm just going to go straight across. If you have washi tape, I suggest really taking a lot of the sticky off first. And then you can, you know, then that way you can pull it up and push it down and do what you want. So that's about where I want it, okay? So press and seal, yes, thank you, Debbie. For some reason, I just wasn't coming to me. So what you want to do is keep one side down. You want to be able to lift the other side up, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dark, the inner of the large leaves first with Granny Apple Green, okay? And I'm going to take this and I'm just kind of looking where my leaf is right there. I'm going to pull this back and I'm going to stamp it right there. And we can adjust it, right? You can adjust your flowers a little bit. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it right about there. We're going to put another leaf in between, so don't worry, just kind of, doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to, you know, go one way or the other. You kind of want it out a bit so you can see them. So I did about 4-ish, in between the larger flowers. So it's just kind of whatever you want. All right. So that's fine because I'm going to be adding smaller ones. All right. But now we got to turn it upside down and we're going to do the same thing. All right. So we're going to go right about here. Make sure you get your full leaf on there because it kind of wiggles around a bit. All right. And see right here, we can move this down a little bit. So let's move this up just a tad. Right about there. Okay, so just kind of figure out what you got. All right, it doesn't have to be perfect. Obviously, your leaves are behind your flowers, right? So you kind of want to make sure that your image just gets some kind of flowers on it, and then we're going to add other stuff in there, so don't worry. Okay, so there we go. That's good for that. So now I'm just going to set this back. I'm going to come in with this one. Make sure you stamp off. So bring that paper in. Make sure it's stamped off. And put your leaves on. So any leaves that you have, if you don't have this stamp set, get your leaves that go with your flowers, because they're usually size proportionate, right? So that you know that they're the right size. And put your leaves on just like this. So if you have press and seal, like I said, if you have washi tape, make sure you take a lot of that stickiness off. Hi, Deborah. So make sure you take that stickiness off. Thank you, Margie. All right. If you guys missed the announcements at the beginning, there's a lot of stuff going on the website tomorrow, so don't miss it for sales. All right, so we are done with this one. So I'm going to wipe that up, get it out of the way. And now we're going to bring in the light one. And this is when I'm going to switch colors. So this one is Granny Apple Green, and now I'm going to Lemon Lime Twist. We're going to do the same thing. So start with your smaller, darker one. So let's close that back up. And now you're just going to kind of pull this back again. And I'm going to go like this and put two. One's a really light and one's darker. Okay, so we're going to move this right about there. All right, and so this one I know I'm going to, because this one's low, I'm going to take this and I'm going to go a little and add right next to it to make it fill in a little bit right there. All right. And then I'm going to go right here. My paper's moving. You could tape this down too if you wanted to. It's not that big of a deal. You can move your flowers around a little and get them right where you need them, so don't worry about that. And then, oops, I'm going to stamp off, and I'm going to do another one right here to put that other light, and you can barely see it, and that's okay. And then I'm going to lift this one back up and do here and here. Okay, so that's the top. All you got to do is turn it over. And I think I'm going to do one more light one right here. Okay, now I'm going to turn it over. So that's all you do, is just kind of get an idea of where you want your flowers to go and your leaves. And I'm going to add one more over here. Okay, so there we go. And now we're going to come back in with this again, course, we need to stamp it off. But this is the easy part because we already have our placement. Oh, I forgot to stamp off right there. Boo-boo. Oops, that didn't stamp right. And then the lighter one. So just go back in to where all your leaves are. Now, if you're doing this and you don't have a two-step stamp, that's fine. Still do some dark and then do some stamped off. That way you have that, you know, different look in there, like there's different leaves, different greenery in there. And then you are, you know, filling those leaves in, and you get that dimension by just having those different colors. All right, so now, while you have your card just like this, you have these taped, put your dimensionals. So just put them right in the middle of your flowers. I do that first. I put them on the large ones, right in the middle. So I know those are all covered. Okay, then I go back and I go to the small ones and I just layer them right up on top, because you're going to have you know, the big petal right in the middle of the little, you know, one, and that's fine. Now at this point, if you wanted to, you could bring in your little dimensionals, your minis, and if you see any, like this is on the edge, so I'm going to go ahead and put one there, and this one's kind of, you know, up and close to the edge. And this one's close to the edge here. And I could put one there if I wanted to, but I think it's going to be fine. So I am good with this right here. So now let's take this out of the way. We don't need that. I'll put this here. So, oh, before you stick them on, hello. Now we're going to emboss this, because, you know, you want to do it after you do your leaves, right? So let's put this in here. Any embossing folder, whatever you have. So if you decided to do your card vertical, that's fine too. You could do your flowers down the side. You could do just a few of them across the, you know, you could do them like across right here, like more of a, you know, slant. You could do them diagonal. Put your sentiment, you know, below or above. You know, just make sure that your embossing folder is, you know, the, you know, horizontal or vertical, whatever you want. So see, there's our leaves on there. Now we're going to take this. Remember, I had the Coastal Cabana on the left. So let's take all of these off. And be careful, because they're barely being held by this tape. You don't want to pull up your flowers and mess up your bunch. So just kind of go along and peel everything off. Now take your tape pieces or whatever you're using and just kind of figure where you want them. See, I can go up and down to where I want. Right there is kind of low for that area, so I'm going to make sure I pull that down. But I have to pull this left over and there, so they're pretty straight on where I want them. Yeah, right there. And then just press down your dimensionals. Carefully remove. Like I said, this is Scotch repositionable tape, and I absolutely love it. I use it for everything. All right, so put that back. Yay! All right, so let's go ahead and glue this in. And this really is a simple card. I mean, you could sit there and just like I did, I just made a ton of flowers. All right, I made a bunch of flowers for my thank you cards. And then I was like, okay, now what am I going to do? Because I didn't know. And that's kind of how I do my stuff. I decided not to add a color panel behind this because I wanted this card to just kind of be crisp and white and, you know, elegant. So I chose not to do that. But I did put dimensionals on this. And because it is embossed, I do kind of put a little more than I normally do, like a lot more than I normally do. But it is a big panel too, so you want to make sure that it's not going to cave in on in the middle. And then sometimes I realize if you just put them on the corners, it seems like these cave in also, and I don't want that. So I'm going to do, I mean, there's nothing like getting your card exactly how you want it, and then it doesn't pop up like you want it. So add those dimensionals. Whenever I need to add something to an order, it's dimensionals, because you can always use those. Ooh, I just think that the sentiment with just that little, I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm sad if you can't, but it's so pretty. And then I'm just going to put my 3 dimensionals right down the middle. And then I just kind of came in a little bit, came down, just kind of, not necessarily in the middle of this, but just kind of a nice distance. Wink of Stella, because I didn't do these, I did the ones that I did here. So I got to come back through here and do my Wink of Stella on my flowers. And then we have to add our embellishments, of course. So I used my iridescent rhinestones, and I used the medium ones. And I try to find some flat spots. With your embossing folder, you'll see that you've got, you know, some flatter spots versus other spots like that are more detailed, you know, have more embossing to them. So just kind of, you know, find a good spot for your And even if it's a flat spot that's raised, at least it's, you know, a flatter spot, it will hold it. So there we go. There's the card. Love it. I am behind, but getting there. Oh, good, Robin. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was fun. Here was my original one. So once you get this done, so let me show you what I did. I don't have any more flowers, but what I did is when I went to the next card, I laid my flowers down just like these are. So up, under, on top, you know, the center, you know, under, you know, just kind of figure them out, and then get your piece of tape and lay them over the flowers that are on top, turn them over, move this card, and bring in your card that you're going to do your leaves on. And so that's what I did. I just brought in the card, laid my flowers how I wanted them, and then I moved it, and then used these flowers on the next card. So you can tell they're pretty close to the same layering, because I looked at this one when I created this one. Okay, so just make sure when you have the repositionable tape or the press and seal or whatever you use, be super careful. This, I've never ever had it stick and be an issue, which is why I do that. I used to use masking paper. I used to use a lot of different stuff. But sometimes, you know, it peels up and kind of messes your card up. And I didn't want that. So I think I'm going to move this one down a little bit. Let's see if it will. I think it's too high up there. I'm going to move it right there. There we go. I like that they're kind of like right around the flowers, and I think that one was a little too high. Oh, good, Olivia. So that is what I thought I'd share with you today. I hope you guys were having fun crafting along. I know a lot of you were going to be crafting along, but yeah, so just, you know, pick out the flower of your choice. And sometimes the white cards are just so elegant and just so pretty by themselves. Add some texture. Make sure if you're using an embossing folder or some light stamping. If you had little tiny flowers in this set, let me look. If you had, you don't, but there's a little tiny heart. But if you had a little tiny flower, you could also stamp off and do just a light little flowers in the background or something if you wanted. Let me look at this other set that I had. Yeah, these are kind of big flowers, but if you had something to do that, but embossing, I think, adds so much to a card. It just, I mean, people, especially that get the card that aren't stampers, are going to look at it and go, oh my gosh, how did they do that? That was one of the biggest things that sold me when I first started stamping, was embossing folders, because you could do so much to that. When somebody that is new stamping and they ask me, what should I get? What should I get if I'm new? I don't know what to get. Or if I'm going to give something as a gift, what should I do? And I always say, get an embossing folder, because you can do something as simple as this with one stamp set. I know I changed the sentiment, but, and add an embossing folder behind it. And look at that. Let's see if I can get a little closer. And just, and of course, the irresistible rhinestones are just irresistible, iridescent. I call them irresistible because they are. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Shouldn't be too difficult to make. Nope, Patricia, it is not. Oh, you guys are welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Love the idea and the tape to hold design. Great tip. Oh, you're welcome, Wendy. So my thought is make it as easy as possible. If you're going to reproduce items like I am, like right now, I'm doing a card that's 50 of them for my swaps in Vegas. Just the coloring alone has taken me like a half hour just to do the coloring on one card, but that's okay. But I will be doing a video on that later. So anyway, if you came in late, please go back to the beginning. There's a lot of updates, a lot of information for tomorrow on that's going to be available online. The Hey Chuck dies are now available, so you can purchase that bundle. If you're taking my class, those are available. I would wait till tomorrow because if you want to do the trucking along class, that is available tomorrow also. So you can put it all together. Oh, you are welcome, Sue. Hi, Deborah. Thank you, everybody. I'm glad you liked it. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, good, Melanie. Yeah, I will do videos on all of my swaps. It'll be after the trip, but they will be here waiting, or maybe I'll record them and have them showing while I'm gone. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. That way you guys can see them while I'm gone and see what I'm handing out. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I will see you on Sunday. Have a great rest of your week and take care. Bye, everybody.